Hey, what's up, y'all? Another episode of Julie Harris Presents. We got to cooking before I hit start, so I was like, you know what? While we getting into stuff, let me go ahead and hit record. We were just talking about Tito passing away, man. We losing them this year. They piling them on us.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you the one that's sad. The real sad one for me was James Earl Jones. It's like, man,
They came out of nowhere. He was
nah,
wholesome.
he was 172, but still, it's like
I didn't feel
you
bad. Yeah,
don't
he
think
was up
about
there.
the people. It's like, man, they was old when we was little, so it's like, yeah, eventually they gonna pass, but you just don't you know what's gonna happen right now.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was up there too. So I can't say.
But he was just as an actor, his body of work, he did a lot of like. Well, I loved him in Claudine back in the day. With I can't think of the sister's name, but that was one of my favorite James Earl Jones movies. It was the way he carried it. He was so young, and he was just like, look, I'm just a black man trying to make it, but the
He
system
was
is
he was
trying to keep him
vibrant
out the
and
house.
smooth. I couldn't picture him like that. I know exactly what you're talking about. I have to
Yeah,
watch that. I'm guilty of not ever watching that.
you've never watched Claudine? Oh man, yeah, Claudine.
No.
But see, Claudine. Now back then, it was saying, we looked at in the '90s. It was like, now that was just another black exploitation movie, but it was like that movie really expressing how it really showed how the system was manipulating. It's like with all the stuff we had going on in our own lives, how we was being manipulated by the system, whereas the welfare program telling women you can't have a man in your house if you on welfare. Well, this sister got like 5 kids. She need help. She need welfare help. And if a man want to come in their life and help out, why would you deny that? But it's like, no, you can't have no man in your house. Well, that takes a structure away from the household because there's no man in there to help discipline these children. Now, when these teenage boys gonna do something wrong, ain't had nobody but their mama. But that was perpetuated on this. It was just the way we was forced. The women were forced into it. If you want to get this help, you can't get this. You can't have both. You got to hide it. You got to keep it top secret. All that. It was like, nah, this is not unintentional. This is by design.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say that. And then something like that, I call it blatant. Like it's really blatant to the point to where like really like y'all just not gonna let.
Is it for tickets? Well, people in the morning, you think she could get her midday and her evening.
I can pick them up, but I'm gonna be at work. Remember, I got to go and do look.
So doctor's appointment at 8 in the morning.
I was like, I can pick something up.
You can do it after his
If
appointment.
she give me the numbers, I'll pick them up while I'm out there.
Tell the missus I said, hey,
Hey, Dooley said, hey. Yeah, we doing the People's Podcast. Yeah.
Are you just talking like that on this podcast?
We make it natural and real.
Yeah.
No, we're honest. We're direct, straight to the people. We give you
What's the
uncut.
topic tonight?
We just talking.
just the current events, stuff like that. Hey, now,
Honey biscuits
honey biscuit. That sounds
for the
delicious
world.
right
Yeah.
now.
How you doing? Just saying hi.
Hey,
And eating my
Chad.
biscuits.
The infamous Lana Jones.
But yeah, the movies like that, we don't even think about it. When we look at them now, we just looking like, oh, that was something that happened. It was like, no, all that was by design. It wasn't no accident, and it wasn't no accident that they made that movie the way they made it. Because we look at our elders, the way they did things, they understood the system. They understood it a lot better than we do because they're saying easy times make weak men. Our generation had it rough with the kids coming up today. They looking at it, this is their norm. So they don't understand how these systems were already in place that messed us up. It's like this is why, partly why your pops ain't around. He couldn't say it was easier to try to make it easier for your mom. Pop stayed out the picture. We couldn't see that I couldn't see that when I was a kid, but now looking back, it's like, okay, yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, well, mine just never appeared, just ever. I have no clue, no nothing of them. So, wasn't welfare.
We
We
ain't
got
been welfare for that. You just gone.
no, yeah, but at the same time, if you're trying to make a way and provide stuff like that, it's better as a unit. It was hard. It's hard. I mean, obviously, it's hard. You can't. You know what I'm saying? You got to take care of your kids, and you need assistance.
Right.
At least the woman, she gets assistance. The male, he have to work through all of that.
Yeah, and they looking at you like you're an able-bodied man. Why you not working?
It's
You
like
got to show a reason.
people see a female in a shelter, they like, oh, poor her. A guy in a shelter, like, bum. You know what I'm
Lazy.
saying? Lazy.
But see, I had to learn, right? I learned two things. God told me a long time ago. He's like, man, the guys that was on top and doing in the game and doing whatever that was making all this money, the guys that was on top yesterday, are the drug addicts today. But don't look, and when you know we was young, we looked like it was Dolphin. We was like, no, them guys, you don't know who they used to be. So it's like you don't know the circumstances in his life that brought him down to this level. So when I looked at homeless people, I started looking at them the same way. I don't know the circumstances that got you here. You could have just hit hard times, stuff could have got bad. You could have had a mental breakdown. You know what I'm saying? You might have all types of mental issues that was never addressed or and properly dealt with. So this is why you out here. But
That's
we don't.
another thing too.
We look at them and judge. Like people
You don't know who is who.
Nah.
Literally last night, a boxer, like everybody know who he is, standing outside the store, ask for change.
Hey, Anthony.
Yeah, you never know who it.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, you go. When I was locked up, I learned it because it was a guy that was locked up with me. His mom was like not the city council. She was like just under a senator, whatever's under a senator, but she was in Lansing and she had a lot of power, right? And everybody looked at him like, oh, he just a thug. He just a thug. He a gangbanger. He did see that. It's like, no, this guy, he came up in kind of well-to-do. His mom's in politics. And so, like, I was talking to a CEO and he was like, man, he's like, I learned the hard way. You know, we'll jump on a guy that did this. We go in there and rough him up. You don't know who this guy's family is. You don't know what power he has that he can call to bear. Or you don't know if his family gonna show up deep outside when you when you come time for you to get off work, or if his family's in politics and they're gonna have a whole powers that be come down on you. You really, unless you know
never
somebody.
Know what somebody going through on top of that too.
Yeah, you don't know what type of what their stress was. What was it that pushed them this far? And you don't. It ain't even that you don't know. We don't ask. That's what the biggest thing is. Like, take a second to ask the guy. Like, hey man, you okay? We was down in Texas. I was going into GameStop. Young brother sitting outside. He was like, hey man, can you help me out? Buy me something to eat. Now it's like you think Michigan, man, Texas homeless it's like it's so bad. They everywhere. If you in inner city, they everywhere. Trying to some people trying to earn $1. Let me pump your gas, wash your windows. But a lot of muds is out there begging. I'm like, if you showing some type of incentive, like I tell a guy in a minute, I'm like, dog, get you a. But if I'm homeless, I'm gonna get a bucket and a squeegee. And I just get a bucket of water. I'll be like, hey, can I wash your window for $1? Because that's my sale. So I don't want you to just give me nothing. I want to earn it. That way, I'm providing a service, which makes people will look at more likely looking and say, hey, oh, he ain't just out there with his hand out. But the kid, yeah, he was a young kid, and he was just like So I went to the store, came back. First, I'm like, nah, man. So I went to the store and I came back out and I thought about it. I was like, bro, you just trying to get something to eat? He's like, yeah, man, I'm just hungry. And there's a wing stop next door. I'm like, come on, man. Going wing stop. He's looking at me. I'm like, what you looking at me for? Tell him what you want. What you want? Hey, bro, I can't tell you what to eat. You said you hungry. Order you some food. Whatever you order, I'm gonna pay for it. Order something to eat. I'm just like, man, I was like, hey, I ain't gonna finna just give you money, but you actually just freaking hungry. Who am I? I know I got food and I got a couple dollars in my pocket. Why would I deny you a meal?
Yeah, exactly. And there's no offense off of that. Like, no harm, no foul.
Right. You ask for what you ain't begging for what you want. You asking for what you need. I'm hungry. I need to eat. I might not have ate today. I'm just trying to get some food in my belly. Well, go ahead, bro. That meal, now who knows what that meal might have meant to him? Like to me, at the time, it was just like, okay, you just hungry. I'm gonna feed you. But to the next, I learned that too in life. You never know what your smallest action means in the life of the next person.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I used to do stuff, and I see if somebody that I did something nice for, and I see them 3-4 years later, and they remember. I'm like, I did what? When I do that? Like, yeah, you did this, or you said this, and it motivated me. Like, me, I said that, or I did that. Yeah. Well, if I did that, I'm in the moment. It's like at that moment that whatever was going on, that's what I felt needed to be done. That's what I did. So to me, it's not a second thought. But for them, and I know it happened to me too, it's stuff that people done for me that might have been really insignificant to them, but at that moment, it meant the world to me. It got me, you know what I'm saying? It got me to a place where it was like, okay. So that's a life lesson.
I gotta ask you though, how did that feel when somebody came back and reminded you though? Because it's only happened to me like twice.
To me, it's funny because I'm like, man, I'm not gonna remember what I said or what I did. I know I'm not. No, I have a few moments that it's like, okay, I remember this, and it was significant to me because of the way I saw the immediate effect. But I'm not gonna remember it. I don't remember what I did because most of my life I lived in that moment. Whatever's going on right now, that's what the point. I'm not doing because like people they live and they looking like, okay, if I do this today, then I'm looking at my future payback. I'm looking for karma to come around and bless me. I ain't giving a damn about none of that. I'm like, yo, you just needed help, and I was in a position to help you.
Yeah, man, you can't sit around waiting on that because life goes.
Right? I'm
No,
like,
yeah, I agree. I'm sorry.
it's like I don't, and it'd be funny. I'm like, I really don't care. But why'd you do it? You must care if you did it. Okay, I care to that extent, but I don't care that I did it because it was just something that I did. If it blessed you, I'm good. I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to thank me at all. Pay it forward. So when you in a better position, you see somebody else need some help, be willing to help them out.
Yeah, because
You know?
somebody helped them. Absolutely.
Right. That's
It's gonna
all I
happen to
need out
me,
of it.
especially when the business I'm in, somebody like short or something, or ain't got it, or down their luck or something. Of course, I'm
Right,
not
it's
gonna.
like I'm not gonna sit here deny you your meal because I'm like, oh, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Don't you worry about it. And
That's
then them
that
time,
that sustains life. So that's it directly sustains life. Food.
yeah.
So it
I'm
is.
gonna help you move forward. I
Yeah.
remember I see kids, man. I used to see kids out and they in that Texas heat, they'll go get them like a 40 pack of water and they be out on the street, literally like in the middle and the median on the streets selling waters. And I'm like, you know what? I'll buy that from you. Why? Only because I see your entrepreneurial spirit. You could be out here trying to steal something. You could be out here, trying to do anything, but you're trying to get a little legit hustle. I'll support that. I don't even. No, I don't need 4 bottles of water for $1 a piece. But you know what? Let me get them because I see what you're trying to do, and I want you to feel motivated to keep going on this path instead of something. I know how life is. I know what's around that corner. Them hard times that you got to go back home and deal with, whatever you got going on at home, when you're trying to go to school, whatever you're trying to do. I know the difficulty of those circumstances. I've lived them. So it's like if that my little purchase motivates you, like, hey, if I did it today, I could do it again tomorrow. And it keeps you on a path that keeps you out of jail or from ending up dead. All right, cool.
And then it's a life lesson too. You fishing, they fishing. They can fish for themselves.
Right. It's like you can always find a way to come up. Like I said, I told him I was like once I got my CDL, I'm like, bro, I can never be homeless. Actually, once I had the knowledge of how to get it and what it entailed, I was like, yeah, I could never be homeless. Why? Because if I'm homeless, I'm gonna go find. I'll go sign up. I need training to do this job. Now it's people that do it and have done it right. Was in a situation, they got put out the house. They went to school and got a CDL, and they lived in their truck for the next 2-3 years,
And made
just
money.
driving around, and they made money just driving around. It's like, hey, I ain't got to pay no bills. I'm in the truck, but now once I come out this month, I got enough to sustain myself in whatever it is that I actually wanted to do.
And
It's
you can
all
get
about
off. You can get off one trip with a nice little security deposit on something too.
Yeah, but why? Why? I don't even need. I don't need one because I'm in that truck. I got a bed. I got. If I once I done made a couple trips, got some money in my pocket. I got my bed, TV, refrigerator. So I got food. You know, so I got food, water. I can stop anywhere, almost anywhere along the road. Any truck stop, rest area, whatever. Use the bathroom. Shower at the truck stop. So I really don't need to go. I don't need to spend no money on a place to live or on a vehicle because I'm gonna be in this truck for the next 2 years. So the money that I can save just sitting in this truck, when I come out of it, I ain't got a security deposit. I got the down payment, if not the whole payment for a house, wherever I
Yeah,
want.
that's true. And I've seen some stories. You know who Whack 100 is?
I've heard of it.
Okay, well, he's the manager to the Stars or whatever game and stuff. But he took off from truck driving and stuff. And I've seen people eventually try to downplay him for that. But at the end of the day, if don't nothing go right, he can always do that.
Yeah, that's one of the jobs. So that once you got the skill set, you can, as long as you keep your license good, you 65 years old. You know what? Took a hit. I got to get back in the truck, get my money back right. And that's the beauty. That is one of the beauties of the job. Until you get to the point where you can't get a med card, you can always drive. What
And then
else is going?
it's a big thing though too. Like that's really big right now.
And honestly, that's one of the problems in the industry right now. Everybody thinks, oh, I can do this. Like, most of the people, if 100 people start school today, only probably 60 to 70 of them gonna actually graduate. 30 of them gonna quit because they're gonna feel like it's too hard. Then out of the 70, 60 or 70 that graduate, half of them are gonna quit in the first year because of the trucking industry. Trucking companies don't realize that it's a new mindset for a lot of drivers. Drivers back in the the early in the 80s, 70s, and all that. Them was a guy even up until the 90s. Them was a mother like, you know what? I'll go out here and sit out here for 3 months without seeing my family. Now it's like, bro, nobody want to be away from their family that long.
And then and then like, why would you? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. I understand I'm trying to sacrifice to sacrifice my time with my family to make money to take care of my family, but I don't want to sacrifice all of it.
that 3 months, that's absurd. I mean, like, true enough, you're not, I ain't gonna say wasting, but you're working a lot of hours away from your family to provide for your family, not even spend time with them. So just imagine 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, how much stuff they done went through.
A lot happens in that amount of time.
That's what Eminem said. Like he wouldn't do a lot. I seen the thing. And 50 Cent said Eminem said it. They was trying to get him to do tours and all that. They knew like, man, we'll make this much money. He was like, nah, I'm straight. And he's like, well, at the time they was like, man, why he don't want to make the money? He's like, I don't want to leave and go on the road and come back and my daughter's grown. And I done missed all her life because I'm out here touring and hey, I'm making good money to take care of her, but I done missed her whole life. And I'm like, that makes perfect sense. I want to be able to see you grow. I want to have the memories with you. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being told about it, having to see a video about what happened.
Yeah, exactly. And then on the flip side, there's people that sit there all day in time and can't provide, but they there.
Yeah. It's like, for nothing else, we going to be together. I got you. I'm going to do whatever I can, but we going to be together. I'm going to make sure that, we together all the time. You know that you love, regardless of all the things that you might be missing physically, you know that you love, and that's gonna make that makes you a better person. And in the sense of the word, it's like, yeah, you're gonna have to work, you're gonna have to struggle, but you know that you're capable of it because your foundation came from a place of love.
Yeah, and then I mean, absolutely, and that teaches like money is not everything, but it's balance. I think it's all about balance, so it's crazy.
Yeah, if you can find it, it's really good. Then when they get old enough, you kick their butts out and be like, look, don't come back here if you get you got grandkids, yeah, keep them too. I don't want to see none of y'all no more. I done spend all my time with you.
You wilding out right now.
Man, listen, I blaze my mom so hard because I realized we're that grandparents. I realized that being a grandparent, I'm not a grandparent, but I'm just looking at the topic. Grandparents basically is like they second chance because when your parents had you, they ain't know what they was doing, especially if they was young. They really know. They just did the best they could with what they had.
Mm-hmm.
That was honestly, and when you grow up, you got to look at it. You can't ask for more than that.
No,
look at your parent
I agree.
as a person.
Because I'm like, now you want to fine tune stuff now. You know what I'm saying?
Now, as a grandparent, they got more knowledge, they got perspective, and they like, oh, okay, I can do all this stuff right. I can do this like this. I can I'll treat my grandchild like this. Because at the end of the day, the biggest part, like I can always drop you back home with your mom and your daddy.
Absolutely, yeah.
But but they fine tune the parenting skill. But it's like, yeah, but I didn't went through all the rough stuff. Or if you got like my youngest brother is 12 years younger than me, so he got advantages that I didn't have growing up because he came at a different time. At the same time, I got advantages that he didn't have because I came at a different time. So, like my mom should say, she wishes my youngest brother would have had time to live with my grandfather before he passed, because I got a skill set right now that's just phenomenal. It's like, what can you do this? Yes. Kalana, she asked you like, can you do this? Yes. I don't want to do it, but do I know how to do it? Yeah.
Yeah. Because when there's that muscle memory, that skill that you have,
once I start doing it, I already know how to do it. The knowledge is already implanted in my brain because and my work ethic came from living with him. It's like, no, we work. This is what men do. We work. We work to provide. You don't know all that just sitting around. I don't know what I want to do. If you don't know what you want to do, go get a job doing something you don't want to do, and just to make sure that you can provide for your family, for as long as you can till you figure out what you want to do.
Yeah, man. And then that's something that people, they have workshops to sell this exact same thing. You ever thought about that?
Yeah, no. Work was online. Just pay this much. It's a master class. You want people to pay you to tell them what they already really know, but they just don't want to. That's what people pay for it. They pay for somebody to tell them what they already know, but didn't want to accept. Yeah, you want me to verbalize and make it hard, make it easier for you to make that decision.
I would feel so cheated. I ain't paying a dime.
No.
I hit you up, be like, yeah, you're right. You know what? That's the best money ever saved.
Like, let me call. Man, listen, I learned that, and just like, it's not to sound arrogant, but a lot of times I would be the smartest guy in the room, right? And I realized some of the people, I was like, it's not that I'm smarter than you, it's just that I have a body of knowledge that you don't. So so not you per se, but a guy come to me and ask me a question, and I'm not telling him how to do what he's trying to do. Like, how do you know how to do that? I just know. Well, can I give you something? No. You ask me for knowledge. Most of the stuff that I learned in my life, I learned to give away anyway. If I'm not going to use it, I'm definitely going to give it. Let me give it to whoever can use it. I give you. Oh, I had an idea for a business, and I tell you, you go build the business. And mother's gonna be like, "Why you didn't build it? It wasn't for me. I just knew how to do it. I'm not mad. And I'm not mad.
That's major. That's true though. That's
I'm
true.
not mad at the guy that built it. I just gave him a foundation to start with. Wouldn't be mad at him for doing something that wasn't for me to do. That was for him. My job was just to give him that information, that knowledge that allowed him to do it. Yeah. I'm gonna have to get my phone stand back from her. She jacked me.
But that's a good point though, like, because I know some things about certain things that I love and dearly interested in them, but I'm not able at the point to do it. If you want to get started at it or anything, any knowledge on it of something, of sorts, I can give you
get you on the right
information.
path, get you going.
Yeah, but that ain't for me at this point in time.
It's not my thing. Like, I know it's different businesses. Yeah, I know how to run it if I was in that position, but that's not something I want to do. I'm not into that.
Yeah. But just wanted to give a shout out. You and the missus, you and the wife, y'all been nothing but great friends to me since I've known y'all.
Now, you've been a great friend to me since I met you. You gave me an opportunity. It's like, man, wait a minute, this guy's a felon. Like, I just need a job, man.
That's another thing too. Like, I don't look at stuff like that, and I mean, it had a lot to do with you too. You came off as in like you got a record. Seriously, like.
That's what I get that. I've been getting that all my life. Like, when we met this one of my best friends. I haven't talked to him in a minute, but he's one of my best friends, a guy named Rick, white guy down in Texas, right? And when I told him I'd been in jail, he was like, "Really? You?" And like, nobody believes me. Like, no, you don't even seem like that type of person. I'm like, it's just a circumstance. You got a lot of people in jails like that. They circumstances of their life brought them to that position. But they don't let it. It's not going to define who I am.
You didn't let it define you. Let me say that. I will say that. And I was like, damn, for real? What? Like, and to this day, I'm like, you know what? It gives me motivation and stuff, and to the way I look at and perceive people too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for one, things happen that's unfortunate, less fortunate.
Right.
But coming back from that, redemption and things like that of that nature and stuff like that is possible.
Oh, it's always possible. And like I tell people, they be like, well, how? I was like, listen, one thing, if you don't want to change, you're not going to change. If it was necessary for you to change, because sometimes it wasn't even necessary for you to change, because everything that you did, you were right for doing. But because of the circumstances and the way they were and the way the law is written, the book says you were wrong. But morally and realistically, you weren't wrong for what you did. Whatever. And I'm not like, you tell a guy, you ever seen the movie, the story of Jean Valjean? Not misery. What is it? It's an old, really old book. But Jean Valjean, he got locked up in mid-century France, right, for stealing a loaf of bread, and he broke out of jail. But everybody knew the guy, the police chief knew who he was, so he hunted him through the whole book, or whether you watched the movie. But the whole thing was he was never a bad person. He stole the bread because he was like, everybody in France starving. I'm starving. There's a whole bakery right here. He broke the window like, I need to eat in order to keep moving. So they put him in jail for it. But it's like, was he a bad person? No, he did once. And once he broke out of jail, they found him one time. He was the mayor of a whole little town. Like, how is he the mayor? But once dude saw him, he's like, he dipped out again. He was like, how is he the mayor? Because he's not a bad person. He had the town running smooth. Everybody was, working and eating. So it was like, he was never a bad guy. He just did something that's considered wrong. But if I'm starving, I'm not gonna sit here and starve. I'll be a fool to sit up here and pass out on the street talking about I'm hungry, and this food sitting right there. And
then they turn an eye to sometimes they turn an eye to certain times. Certain people depends on certain things. But the thing is, they couldn't turn an eye towards that.
No, the dude when he couldn't let it go, it was one of those. Dude became an obsession for him. To catch him was an obsession. He's like, I need to catch this guy.
But he was already overzealous, obviously.
Yeah. I'm walking because I got to get this dog something to eat right quick.
Oh no, you fine. This is the point of the night. Call it an end to this. This has been very informative. It's actually a relief to talk
Yep,
talk to somebody like-minded and stuff like that. We don't have to do it more often.
Yeah, whenever you need me, bro, I'm here.
All right,
If
man.
I'm here, if I'm on the road, I still don't turn the camera on because I keep my phone on. That's why I turn the camera on and keep on going.
Most definitely. I appreciate this one. I'm gonna send this to you. Make sure you share it too, all right?
Oh, most definitely, man. Thanks, bro. I appreciate you having me.
All right, thank you.
All right, peace, man.
All right.